Welcome back to part 3 of our drama today. I don't have much to say this time, so let's get started and see what happens next.
Hugs G and thanks her for being the reason this happened. G tells him not to waste any time and to go to Mika immediately. Kiefer and Yuri watch the scene, feeling pleased with everything happening around them. During PE class, the students from Section A are in the gym alongside students from Section E. While training, G is the fastest among her classmates, outrunning them all. However, Kiefer trips her, causing her to fall so that he can win. G retaliates by tripping Kiefer the same way he did to her. Everyone is shocked because they all know Kiefer has a quick temper and could seriously hurt G. But what happens next surprises them all. Instead of getting angry, Kiefer playfully chases G, threatening to punish her for what she did. G runs as fast as she can, but Kiefer manages to catch her. As she struggles to escape his grasp, he accidentally kisses her. Everyone freezes in shock at what just happened. Iris immediately steps in, claiming he is protecting G from Kiefer. However, Kiefer stops him, saying that it was just a joke and that G didn't mind. Iris, however, grabs G's wrist and tries to pull her away from Kiefer. Kiefer then grabs her other wrist, refusing to let go, and the two of them start pulling her back and forth until Kiefer forcefully pulls G toward him and kisses her in front of everyone. Later, Kiefer is seen sitting in the classroom with his classmates, holding an ice pack over his face. It is revealed that G punched him after he kissed her. The next day at school, G sees a couple standing together, getting close to each other. She suddenly spaces out, recalling what happened with Kiefer the day before. She can't wrap her head around the idea that Kiefer might actually have feelings for her. Snapping back to reality, she starts hitting herself lightly on the head, trying to shake the thoughts away. C notices her and asks if she's okay. G tells him that she's fine, but as she talks, she suddenly feels weak, so she leaves and goes to the bathroom to wash her face. Inside the bathroom, Rocky enters and immediately notices that G looks feverish. She asks if G has gone to the infirmary or taken any medicine. G tells her that she doesn't need any medicine and that she will be fine. She also mentions that she can't go to the infirmary because she has an important exam today. Rocky then tells G that she has wanted to talk to her for a while, especially since the fight with Freya. G says she is still upset about what happened. Rocky warns G that Freya won't leave her alone and will try to take revenge in any way she can. She explains that Freya did the same thing to her in the past. She caused a lot of trouble for C, leading to his transfer to Section E. She also reveals that Iris knew Freya was in the wrong, but couldn't punish her because he was secretly in a relationship with her behind Ella's back. G is shocked to hear this. Rocky confirms that she saw them getting close at a party, and she explains that Freya always threatens Iris with exposing their relationship to Ella. Because of this, Freya does whatever she wants at school, without facing any consequences. G then asks Rocky about her past with Sai. Rocky tells her that she and C used to love each other, but when Freya found out, she became jealous because she also liked C. From then on, Freya constantly fought with Rocky and caused her problems. When C intervened to defend Rocky, Freya framed him for theft, ruining his reputation and making the school administration transfer him to Section E. G returns to her classroom feeling upset about everything she has learned. Meanwhile, her condition worsens, and she becomes too weak to keep her head up. She sits between Yuri and Kiefer, struggling to stay awake. When the teacher arrives and hands out the exam papers, G is completely exhausted and unable to focus. Eventually, she falls asleep at her desk. After some time, her classmates wake her up. The moment she opens her eyes, she panics, realizing that she has slept through the exam and hasn't answered a single question. She becomes terrified that she will fail and embarrass herself in front of her family. The next day, G stands in front of the bulletin board where the exam results are posted. She is completely stunned when she sees that she has received a high score. Unable to believe it, she wonders if she is still hallucinating from her illness. She looks at Kiefer and finds him smirking at her. That's when she realizes that he saw her struggling during the exam and secretly filled out her test for her. G is even more surprised when she looks back at the exam results and sees that Kiefer and Yuri both scored extremely high. She can't understand why such intelligent students would still be in Section E. The next day, G enters the classroom and finds C sitting alone. He tells her that he's hungry and wants food. He then takes out flour and an egg from his locker and asks G to make him pancakes. G tells him she needs kitchen tools, but C surprises her by revealing that there are cooking utensils stored in the classroom. G takes them out and starts making pancakes. Her classmates gather around her, excited and happy about what she's doing. Yuri and Kiefer arrive and are surprised to see G cooking. Kiefer tells her that whoever becomes her boyfriend will be very lucky and says that he wishes it could be him. G is flattered by his words and gets so caught up in the moment that she forgets about the pancake on the stove and it burns. She yells at Kiefer, blaming him for distracting her. Kiefer leaves the classroom and Yuri steps in to help G with the pancakes. During the break, C is sitting alone with a handbag on his lap. When G sees him, she asks whose bag it is. C tells her that it belongs to a girl named Melda, who left it with him while she went to the bathroom. But when Melda returns, she gets angry at Sai for holding her bag. She then brings one of her male classmates over, points at Sai, and accuses him of stealing money from her bag. C denies it, but the boy doesn't believe him and starts a fight. G steps in to defend C, pushing the other boy away and telling Melda that she was the one who gave her bag to C for safekeeping. Melda, however, denies this and insists that C is lying. A crowd gathers around them. C keeps trying to defend himself, but no one believes him, especially the students from Section A, since C has a history of theft. Freya speaks up, but G immediately cuts her off, telling her that she's the last person who should be talking about this. G then exposes Freya, saying that she knows she has falsely accused C of stealing many times before. A student from Section A steps in and asks Melda how much money she lost. As soon as she states the amount, he pulls out the exact sum from his pocket and hands it to her. He then turns to C and congratulates him in front of everyone, sarcastically telling him that he doesn't need to steal since his family is rich. G loses her temper, furious at the injustice C is facing. She wants to fight the students from Section A, knowing that they framed C. However, Yuri grabs her and takes her back to the classroom. He tells her to confirm the truth with Sai before starting a fight. G stands in front of C and asks him if he really stole the money. C insists that he didn't and that he's being set up. G and her classmates believe him and sympathize with him. Meanwhile, at home, Iris is with Ella. He tells her that he knows she was the one who framed C and asks her why she did it. She explains that she is upset with G and wanted to hurt her by making her feel bad for C. She still resents G for influencing Mika to get back with Alex, which caused Mika to change and distance herself from Ella. Ella is also bothered by how all the boys in Section A treat G well, especially since she used to be close to them when she was still in Section A. Iris comforts her and tells her to forget about everyone else and focus on him. He promises to make up for anything she has lost. The next day, G speaks with Kiefer and asks him for money. She wants to settle the embarrassing situation Sai was put in. Kiefer warns her against it, but she insists, so he gives her the money she asked for. G then goes to the student who paid off Melda and throws the money in his face, telling him that C is not a thief. She then loudly declares in front of everyone that she was the one who stole the money from Melda's bag. Iris approaches G and tells her that he understands she's trying to protect Sai, but he never expected her to take the blame for him. Freya seizes the opportunity and records G's confession, posting the video online. When G returns to the classroom, she finds her classmates upset. She is shocked when they show her the video that Freya uploaded, in which G is seen admitting that she stole the money. C feels guilty that G got herself into trouble because of him, but G tells him that she doesn't mind as long as it clears his name. C approaches her and thanks her before hugging her. Yuri, Kiefer, and the rest of their classmates feel happy about G's actions. Kiefer then contacts his hacker friend Eddie and asks him to delete the video from all social media platforms. The next day, Angelo scolds G after seeing the video. G is surprised when she realizes that Angelo has Kiefer's number and is calling him to ask what happened. Kiefer reassures him that G did it to protect C's reputation and that the video video has already been erased. Angelo calms down, but warns G not to do something like this again. Later, G's grandmother arrives with her uncle's wife, who doesn't like G. She tells the grandmother about the video that was posted online, but the grandmother refuses to believe it. Feeling frustrated, G says she needs some fresh air and goes out for a walk. She stops by a restaurant where she encounters the girls from Section A. The moment they see her, they call the waiter and tell him that G is a thief and that they are uncomfortable with her presence. The waiter approaches G and asks her to leave. Just then, Yuri enters the restaurant and sees what is happening. He immediately steps in and tells the waiter that he will pay for all of the restaurant's earnings that day and demands that the girls be kicked out instead. G is shocked by what's happening, especially when she learns that the restaurant is owned by Yuri's family. Because of this, the waiter is intimidated and obeys Yuri's command, throwing the girls out just as he said. Yuri then sits with G and treats her to lunch. G thanks him for what he did, feeling happy about the way things turned out. However, the moment is interrupted when Kiefer arrives in his car. His expression darkens when he sees G sitting with Yuri, laughing and having fun. We see that the love triangle was about to start early. Jay is telling Yuri about her life story and her relationship with her family. Yuri then shares his own background, revealing that he has a younger sister and lives with his parents in Japan. Yuri keeps glancing at Jay and admiring her as she eats. When she notices, he tries to brush it off. He asks her if she's the one helping CN, and she tells him that CN is like a brother to her, which makes him feel at ease. He then asks if she's ever been in a relationship before, and she shares that she's been in 2. The first guy turned out to be a jerk, so she broke up with him, while the second was seriously ill and ended up in a coma, which led to their breakup. Yuri thinks to himself, I think I'm starting to like her, but I can't do that because Kiefer will be mad at me. He's standing outside, ready to storm in and drag me out by my red hair. Kiefer calls his friends and leaves to meet them, while Jay asks Yuri if he's ever been in love. Yuri tells her that he had a one-sided crush. She teases him, saying, What? On the school's most popular girl? Don't feel bad. Yuri reassures her that he's moved on, and Jay laughs, joking that he's behind her. He gets startled, but then laughs at her playful attitude. She tells him she needs to leave because she left her bike outside. Yuri offers to spend the day with her and take her home afterward, and she agrees. Meanwhile, Kiefer is in a terrible mood and wants to pick a fight with anyone. The situation escalates when they find out that the genius hacker couldn't break into the school's system or hack the cameras to find out who stole the money. This makes them think CN might not be such a great hacker after all, and that he's been outdone by kids. Someone suggests checking the cameras at the school itself, but Kiefer shoots down the idea, saying, Are you stupid? We're from the security department. If we get caught, we'll get a beating. He cancels that plan and orders them to proceed with a second plan, which remains a mystery. Suddenly, someone asks about Yuri, and Kiefer loses his temper, saying, Am I not enough for you? He then decides to punish them by making them play basketball with him. Meanwhile, Yuri is the sweet one who offers to take Jay home on her bike. Jay is annoyed because she thought he'd take her home by car. She gets nervous about falling and grabs onto him, placing her hands on his stomach. He laughs and begs her to remove them because it tickles him. She moves her hands to his shoulder, but the bike loses balance, causing her to fall and get injured. Yuri, on the other hand, remains unharmed. He takes out his handkerchief and ties it around her leg, helping her stand and seating her on the bike, while he walks beside her to support her. When they reach her house, he carries her inside, pretending she's exhausted. From their misfortune, Jay's grandmother arrives home and sees them. She scolds Yuri, saying, Put her down, son. You're embarrassing us in front of the neighbors. He insists that he'll stay to help. She then tells him to come inside and sit on the couch. Yuri takes the first aid kit and insists on treating Jay's injury himself. Jay clings to her grandmother because of the pain, but Yuri's gentle touch feels soothing, and she barely notices the pain until he finishes. Jay's grandmother, who's observant, notices that they make a good pair. She asks, Are you her boyfriend? Jay quickly denies it, but the grandmother insists that they seem like they're dating. Yuri gets embarrassed, his face turning as red as his hair. Jay explains that they're just classmates, but the grandmother insists that Yuri stay and spend the day with them. Iris, who's not a fan of this, tries to kick him out, but the grandmother is persistent and insists that he stay for dinner. When Iris objects again, the grandmother grabs him by the ear and tells him to behave, warning him not to cause trouble. Everyone standing around gets scared because they know not to mess with her. During dinner, the grandmother interrogates Yuri about his family and is pleased to learn that his family is Japanese and lives there. She asks him to say a few words in Japanese to show off her skills, and she seems pleased to learn that Yuri comes from a wealthy family. Meanwhile, Iris still doesn't like him and asks Jay to kick him out after dinner. She ignores him and leaves him barking like a dog, while Yuri takes the peas from her plate because he loves them. In return, she takes the potatoes, and it's like they're sharing a mutual understanding. The grandmother notices all of this silently and comments that Jay should learn to cook what Yuri likes because you two seem like you're going to get married. I can sense there's something between you. The problem, my friends, is that Yuri is glowing and feels like the grandmother really understands things. Suddenly, Jay receives a message from Kiefer, but she ignores it and stays focused on Yuri. After they finish eating, Jay walks Yuri out. We notice that his car arrived to pick him up, and they laugh together. Yuri feels happy when she tells him, "Good night." He stands there, looking like hearts and fireworks are going off, and honestly, she reminds me of Suho from True Beauty. If anyone else sees the resemblance, comment below because I don't want to feel like I'm the only one.